My older friend complains his adult daughters never reach out to him. Should I tell him he's difficult? As someone with pretty severe daddy issues, I would love if someone from outside the family had ever talked to him on my behalf. So yes, I think you should, but gently. I can't blame his daughters. I hate my dad for the exact same reason. He is an alcoholic and verbally abuses my mom, never supported us financially. In fact, he retired and is now expecting my mom to send him money. Whenever I hear stories like this before I feel bad for the old parents, my first thought that comes to mind is, well, how did you treat your kids? It's a hard pill to swallow, but how your kids treat you when you get older is a reflection of how you were as a parent. While I understand that it varies and sometimes kids turn out bad toward their parents even if their parents were good to them, I still ask what they did for their kids to hate them like that. Because most often than not, there's always a reason. As someone who worked in LTC for many years, this is why some of them never have visitors. Just cause you're older, doesn't absolve your crap. He seems incapable of critical thinking. You can't save these Paul, just move on dude, I would stay out it. He's generally very cranky, angry, and easily agitated. He can be narcissistic. And he has a very it's my way or the highway mentality, like he can't accept differing opinions. So why the fuck are you spending time with this person? This sounds so much like my relationship with my father. Very similar story, though he's approaching 80 now. If your friend anything like him, telling him isn't going to help him, and even if it does, it's probably way too late to repair the relationship. He'll never trust any sort of niceness from my father. It's always manipulative. Telling him he needed to be a better person only ever gave him a new script to try on us to get us back on his side, which is something he wants not because he cares about us but because he's lonely and wants us around so he can tell himself it's not his fault and have someone to look after him. I honestly don't know what the right answer is in your situation. Telling him might at least help him come to terms with the facts of his situation. But speaking as the child of a man like that, I can say it's unlikely to change anything for him. If he were a younger man, maybe. But being over 60, the relationships are probably too far gone now. That was around the time my siblings and I finally gave up on ours. Honestly, why are you his friend? I wanna go no contact with him and I don't even know him. How many people reading this are like wondering if they are talking about my dad? First, has he ever said like, why don't my daughters talk to me? I wish they would. It's one thing to complain that they don't, but if he ever phrases it in a question form like that, that could be your ticket to asking him if he wants a genuine response. He may very well just be venting to you since you're a friend and doesn't actually want a response. He knows the answer. If you do try, instead of going to him and saying, you're generally very cranky, angry, and easily agitated. You can be narcissistic. And you have a very it's my way or the highway mentality. I would just lean more towards giving ideas on you believe could work. Have you tried calling your daughters and ask them if they would like to go out for lunch together or whatever other ideas you can come up with? I didn't see anywhere in there why you are friends with him. Don't bother. He won't change. Having this conversation will just result in him being mean to you. Sounds like he burned some bridges and now wants his daughters to rebuild them. Exactly how much Trump memorabilia does he have? You can tell him, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. He doesn't look like one to take kindly to criticism and reflect on his actions. I think it's awesome you want to help him. Some people need guidance to see themselves, and while he may push you away, it doesn't sound like you're losing much. You could make great change for him, and having someone who holds us accountable in life is necessary. You can pick the people a mile away who have nobody in their lives calling them on their shit. You can try, if he's not a narcissist by psychiatric definition, that might work. But those situations don't happen randomly. People have to pay when they refuse to see what they did. I just read somewhere, children will forgive bad behavior, but not forgive if you refuse to accept you made a mistake. He may not have supported them, and they are giving back in kind. They may have had to grieve the relationship a long time ago while he still thought he was the top boss. They've been gone a long time ago if that's the case. He probably knows deep down that he fucked up as a father and husband, and now he is paying his dues. I don't think you should tell him that his daughters don't want to see him as much because of his past, or anything about the past really. Perhaps instead of thinking of telling him why his family don't seem to give a shit, perhaps give him advice on how to mend his relationship with his two daughters. Yeah though, shit like this real sad something about family structure in America, especially if they are Americans that are several generations in, they break apart. Apologies if you aren't American, just kind of reminded me of the shit that goes on here. What good would telling him do? Do you think he can change? Or do you just want him to stop complaining to you? Only if he directly asks you for advice. Yes. Like he seems like a dum-dum, that doesn't understand that after you set a bridge on fire, you can't cross it.